Oh, wait, that's me. Hello and welcome to episode 196 of First Geek 411. I'm hosting this week for the first time in a long time, and I'm the host, Chris Nicolay. Joining me, because Cameron's out, but we got our normals from colder than where I am, Shanine,
Hello.
and Emma.
Can confirm it's warmer than where both of you are located.
Lucky.
California, man.
It's always the same temperature.
Yep.
That is why people do live there. Put up
Yes.
with earthquakes and fires and droughts
Yep.
and Hollywood.
Yep.
But as always, you can find us. Be sure to check out our website at OneGeek411 and be sure to follow us on our socials. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as OneGeek411. You can always join our Discord server and join us in our conversations after the show or pre-show. Anytime we're not streaming, I guess, and sometimes even then we're still on there. I don't know. You can email us directly with any comments, concerns. Hopefully, more comments and praises. I don't know. On our email at 1stgeek411 at gmail.com. And for those of us tuning in live, we are live every Monday at 6:45 Mountain Time, except for when we're not. And if you failed to catch us, you can always check us out on our YouTube. Be sure to rate and subscribe to us wherever you listen to us. And also, be sure to check out our Redbubble store. But let's go ahead and jump into it. What have you guys been up to? Starting with Emma.
Hi. Let's see. I went to San Francisco for like 2 nights a while ago. Last weekend before last. I only say that because it's a 6-hour drive and I went for filming, but it was really cool.
Is it 6 hours once you get out of LA, or is that including getting through LA?
That is okay. It's 6 hours if you're speeding, including LA. So if you're driving like a normal Californian person, it's like 6 hours, maybe 5.5.
Always gotta be speeding.
Oh yes. That was pretty cool. I before Friday started a new farm on Stardew Valley, and that's been fun. And then Friday, Horizon Forbidden West came out, and that's been my life when I haven't been doing school stuff this weekend and today. And I've been having so much fun, and I love it. So yeah, that's been my life.
Now, do you prefer LA or San Francisco?
I didn't spend enough time in San Francisco to make a judgment call like that. So,
Gotcha.
don't know.
I gotcha. Okay.
Both very expensive places to live, though.
I've also been seeing a lot more Stardew Valley stuff coming up. Like a lot of people are just replaying it now.
Yep, it's fun.
Too many hours. Too
If you
many
like
hours.
that, if you like that kind of thing, it's fun.
No, it's great. It's a great game. It's a wonderful game, and it's available on so many platforms.
Oh yes, so many,
Like
all of them.
the mobile adaptation is really good, from what I
There's a
understand.
mobile version.
Yeah, you can play it on mobile.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what my friends have been like. Some of my other friends have been doing. They're like, "Hey, have you ever played this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have it on my Switch." But also originally started on PC. But wonderful game. And what
Very
about you, Shanine?
delightful.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, feeling better. Um, yeah, I feel like I have so many geeky things to share because I haven't talked about it in a long time.
It's been a few
Um,
weeks, yeah.
I know. Um, I had some Christmas money to spend, so I went to our local bookstore and just got the biggest haul of books I've probably ever gotten. It was very exciting.
Is the one you took me
Um,
to?
yes.
Yeah. Place is so cool.
Yeah.
Yay!
Have you read all of them yet?
No,
Oh.
I have not read any of them yet, but they're
There you
all
go.
like laid out, and I'm like, oh, which one should I read first? Um, I did also get a couple of puzzles there, and I did start and finish one of those already. So I finished the World of Shakespeare puzzle. So
Are you gluing it?
no,
Have you done that to any puzzles? I don't think I've ever
one.
done one.
I did it with one. It was the Doctor Who TARDIS exploding in the Van Gogh style, which so like everything's like painted looking with like no lines really, and like everything's kind of the same color, and the pieces were cut weird, and it took us 6 months to put together, and we were never doing that again. So yeah, we glued that one.
Might as well for the proof of it.
Yeah.
6
So-
months. Dang.
Yeah, it was rough. Like we would sit there for hours and maybe get like one piece in. It was brutal.
That's why I don't do puzzles, guys.
So this one was much easier and a lot funner, and I'll be doing it again.
I'm good.
Yeah.
It's like for the ones that are too complex, I'm just buying a poster from now on.
There you go.
Yeah. For reading that I have been doing, I finished the Binti trilogy.
Does it get better?
I always liked
Based
it.
on my gripes. I mean, I'm enjoying it. As I mentioned, I'm enjoying it. I just have weird gripes. Like what?
I feel like it stays consistent. So it's enjoyable, but you might take issue with some things.
Is there good closure though?
Yeah.
Is the ending satisfaction? Like, is there satisfaction to the ending? That's the important thing.
I felt satisfied.
I'm gonna do it.
You just seem pickier
Might as well.
than me. I don't know if you'll like it or not. It's still a very quick read. You should just do it.
I'm a quick reader, you know that. So
I know.
I'll do it eventually.
I liked it. I liked the ending.
Okay.
It felt right for Binti.
I mean, I trust you, so that's why I ask.
Janine's got good recommendations.
It's like even if I take issue with things, I've been enjoying this. I really enjoy the writing in it. So just not certain concepts.
Yeah, I think there'll probably still be a few things you take issue with, but it's
That's fine.
still consistently Binti, and it feels like a good ending to me. So
Perfect.
yeah, and watched the last few episodes of Legend of Vox Machina, which was wonderful.
I really need to get caught up.
It's just great.
It is. It's just great.
I'm super stoked that they got renewed for season 2.
My only gripe so far with this is that, especially because I have friends that have tried this as their introduction to Critical Role, you can't do it that way, is what I'm realizing. There's just because it's a shortened form, you just don't get to know the characters
Yeah.
like as quickly. Whereas like you're going into it with a background of Critical Role, like you've seen parts, or just like one full episode would probably get you like. You have to at least watch one episode of the first season of Critical Role, and then you could jump into the anime. You just got to get to know, like, where the actors are coming from with their portrayals of the characters. I guess probably helps, and that's what I told them to do afterwards. They're like, I have no idea what's going on really, but it's so good otherwise.
I guess that makes sense. I've kind of found it to be the opposite for me. Like I've watched several episodes of Campaign 1, and I felt like one episode of the anime was like, oh, I understand these characters so much better now. So I feel like.
But you had seen parts of Campaign 1.
Yeah, I had.
Time.
So
Yeah.
I can't come at it from a.
So like yeah, it's just it's
perspective
one of
like
those things
that.
like it's completely like up. So like I am recommending now that people, like, if you have no idea what Campaign 1 is about, just like watch one episode so you can get a feel of the people behind the characters, a little bit and then start it. Like you don't have to watch all of campaign 1 now, but just get a feel for.
You're not required to do what I'm doing, which is just binging all of it.
It's a lot, so much, but so good.
But
though.
it's worth
So
it.
much.
It's oh man. I'm in the middle of the Dragon arc right now, and it's so good. Anyway. So many things happening.
I need to get caught up because there's some very big pieces that I know are in the next few episodes that I can't wait for. I need to see this.
Seeing it come to life in that sort of animated style is super cool.
Yeah. And it's nice because it's a little more condensed, so you don't get like watching them play. Like you don't get the meta aspect, which is what I'm really enjoying. Is like it's just a little condensed. It's just like it's not stretched out because they're trying to figure out what is my character going to do.
Math, yeah, math or
and math
choices or
Yeah, it's fun. It's just story, but I like that as a D&D player, you can still see like
where
specific D&D things. Like,
yeah,
oh, she's buffing him right now, or like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a nat 1 right there.
Yeah,
very clearly.
Yeah, the studio that animated this has done a really good job.
Oh yeah, fantastic job.
Yep. And also today we finished Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Woo!
I cried so many tears today, you guys.
Happy tears or sad tears?
This is the
One
last
hit
like
after another.
6 episodes. This is like a lot.
Like at
A
the
lot of
end, it's
emotions.
mostly happy tears.
Okay.
There are several sad tears
There's
in
a
those
lot.
last
There's some
6
sad
episodes.
things too. There's some good sad things, but like
There's sad things.
very sad things. Such a good series though.
So good.
Very good place to start for those who aren't in the or want to get into anime. I think Full Metal's story and everything it is one of those things, and it's really well. It is well animated. It is an older one, so don't expect like the best, but
Still really good.
still really good. It holds up. Well, that's the one nice thing about anime is like if it's done well, it's gonna hold up 50 years from now because the specific style that is anime isn't gonna change a ton. There's gonna be creative takes and stuff, but or 50 years from now it's gonna be worse because it's all gonna be computer generated. Let's hope that doesn't happen. So what's next then in the anime world?
Oh, I don't know. I'm still deciding if I'm waiting for all of Attack on Titan to be dubbed or if we just like start watching it week to week. We might start the Mugen Train arc of Demon Slayer.
I've heard really good things.
Yeah, like we watched the movie.
And it's just a recap of, well, it's a extended version of the movie essentially.
Yeah, so we're just gonna put it on in the background because we assumed that it was just like the movie cut up, and then we're like, wait, this is new. So
I think you should start Ranking of Kings, but there's at least 17 episodes out right now.
Is that your own humble opinion there, Chris?
Yes. Look, when Ranking Kings just nails all the best points in anime. I hate that I'm watching it week to week as a result. Almost. But also, it is being dubbed simultaneously. I think there's probably at least 12 episodes that are dubbed currently. I'm not sure how far behind the dub is. But it's like, I don't know, the pacing has been so great. It does feel slow at times because I'm watching it week to week and I'm like, man, if I could watch the next episode right now, I would. Every time I put it on. And it's just so endearing. there's some great heartbreak moments, but it's not like full heartbreak because you know things. It's just more so like seeing this character struggle because they don't actually know. It, it's so good. I don't like I can't hype this anime enough. The world is just it's just so amazing. Like I don't know. It's everything you want in a good fantasy. That's all I'm saying. Good
Is it
representation.
called?
Ranking of Kings or the Ranking
Rank.
of Kings.
Which streaming service is this one on again?
Funimation.
Oh, good.
Oh, I like the art style.
Yeah. It has such like the art in it is unique to it. It's very it's very vibrant, and there's elements that are very Ghibli-esque.
I like his cute
but
little
it's not-
crown.
right?
It's so adorable.
Boji is best boy. Period.
All right, I think I'm convinced just from Googling this.
Like, quite honestly, when I started watching this, like literally, if anyone asks me wants me to recommend an anime, it's The Ranking of Kings. Like, if I've recommended other stuff to you that you haven't gone to in the past, this is at the top, regardless.
This is the one to go to.
This, yeah, I think it's perfect for everyone.
Noted.
I can't get enough of it. Sorry, but I mean, like anything I've recommended.
I'm gonna have to watch this now.
But yeah, Demon Slayer is always good. Like the art and everything's been great in that too, and I love that series. Honestly, I'm just waiting for Shanine to just give up everything else and just anime for
The rest of her
a
life.
long period.
Oh, yeah, I'm also halfway through Your Lie in April. So I got to finish that one as well.
Still need to finish that.
It's also a good one. I also just love music animes. So, but do you have anything else?
That's it for me.
All right. Since we are talking about anime, granted, this one is definitely not for everyone. Okay. But I have been watching the anime My Dress Up Darling. And it can be a little risky. Definitely has a little ecchi in it, which is but the characters themselves and the overall story is very heartwarming. It deals with a kind of a reclusive dude who high schooler whose family runs a doll shop, specifically the Japanese paper mache dolls. I forget what they're called. Now I'm looking it up. That's not the right one. Is it Kabuki dolls? And he's very passionate about creating them. Wants to become a master like his grandfather at making them, but he's really good at creating clothes for them is the thing. And he meets a popular girl from his high school who wants to be a cosplayer, and he creates a cosplay for her. But he throws himself so far into it, and it's about kind of like there's really good give and take between the two main characters. But yeah, there's just weird moments that happen that make it not safe for everyone. I'm just gonna say that. So if you are gonna check it out, go do so with an open mind. I am not recommending this as a result for this particular podcast, but it is something I am currently watching because it's also a great portrayal of cosplay. Which I watched it starting with episode 5 because I have bad friends who wanted to watch it, and I happened to be around. I'm like, okay, we can start there. And then as soon as I watched the first 4 episodes, I'm like, okay, this is actually like that makes so much more sense now. And super enjoying it. But yeah, not recommending it still. I've been playing a lot of Legends Arceus. I just run around catching alphas. I have finished the story, which is a plus. Because now I just want to run around and do stuff. I have not started Horizon like Emma and everyone else on this podcast. Well, Shanine's not playing Horizon, but like so many in our Discord, unfortunately, I have not had a ton of time to sit down and actually commit to playing anything. So I am holding off on starting that until I can like at least sit down for 4 hours. It's the minimum amount of time I'm going to put into the start for that game. And yeah, and then other than that, I've been doing random miscellaneous DIY projects. Like I kind of redid the office. I installed a new outdoor light on the house, and I am working on building a camera slider. So for the spring,
Nice.
It's gonna be great.
Nice.
It's gonna be great. I'm going all out. Well, we'll see. We'll see where my attention takes me eventually, but the plan is to hit photography hard this spring. Hopefully, maybe some video projects. I don't know. Cameron is not here with us this week. If you didn't notice, he is packing for Disney World. World. Okay.
World.
Disney World, one of the Disney places here in the U.S. But he too has been playing Horizon Forbidden West. Played and he's saving up some Pokemon Arceus time for his trip and other things. But we wish him the best, despite him not taking us with him, or even
how dare you
giving us enough time to plan.
How dare you, Cameron?
Rude. But yeah, so that brings us into our kind of nerdy news segments. Granted, some of this stuff is a little older because we weren't here last week. But still really great stuff. Let's start with Emma again.
News, which I completely forgot was the thing that happened until I opened up the notes thing again. But Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and all of those Marvel Netflix shows are moving from Netflix to Disney Plus. So they will no longer be on Netflix, but they will be on Disney Plus because ownership / rights / don't know how that deal went through. But yeah, it's Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Punishers, and the Defenders, all making the jump from Netflix to Disney Plus to hang out with the rest of their Marvel buddies.
I'm sure Netflix got some money for them to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely got some money.
Netflix is probably holding them hostage. Like, yeah, sure, we may not have them on the streaming service, but we're not letting you take them right away. It's like, yeah, you can tell us we can't stream them, but so yeah, they definitely got some money since they
gonna pay you out for
like it. The producers on it.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's not that Disney doesn't have the money.
It's not that they don't have the money to pull it off. So yes.
Does that mean these are being reintroduced as canon or MCU canon is the question?
Potentially. I mean, it does indicate that Disney is making that move to have them be a part of that because all of their currently canon TV shows are on Disney Plus.
Right.
Plus we saw, spoilers are ahead for Spider-Man.
For those who haven't.
For those who haven't, we saw Daredevil in the new Spider-Man movie. So it does sort of look like that's the move, like they're making that move to have them be a part in some way, shape, or form. Granted, we also do have the Multiverse of Madness, whole multiverse shenanigan stuff happening. So it could just be that they are making that move to have one story thread with them and then they won't like touch it again. We don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it if they are willing to give us that information anytime soon. So
now.
I know. I want all of the news
Give
now.
me the inside scoop.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
that's
I'm,
that.
I'm thinking they'll be canon just based off Spider-Man and Hawkeye.
Yeah. And it's much more plausible for that whole Defenders group to be canon than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was just complete chaos by the end. Not that I finished it, but like the Defenders as a whole, those sort of characters in that group can more easily be worked into the greater MCU.
Well,
So
and
it's
part of it is they were mostly errating it out because of the ownership issues.
Mhm.
So I mean, like if they resolve that, they're just like, I mean, it hasn't
Yeah.
changed anything, so
Yeah.
we can just errata it right back in.
Yeah, exactly.
Errata or the errata the errata. Veto the errata. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, I guess, if it's been resolved, I'm hoping Disney picks these back up.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Especially like Jessica Jones was so good.
It was so well done. So fantastic.
Daredevil
So-
just brings a certain grittiness to the MCU that I really like.
We also just want more Matt Murdock. So,
Daredevil
Boy
is my
Mac.
favorite of those series. I just want more.
yes.
Yeah, like you don't have to continue certain other ones. You could throw them in as like recurring characters. That's fine. But... Wait, Savior Complex. We got Shang-Chi now. We don't need you, Iron Fist.
No.
He was even remotely a good character, but it wasn't even that.
No.
I was semi-hopeful
wasn't.
for it that maybe they could do this one right, but it just got weird. Right away, like episode 2 was like, oh,
Weird.
So that's what you're doing with him. Okay, never mind. Over it.
I did like his relationship with Luke Cage, though. They were good buds.
There's some good humor there. I will admit there's some great humor, but that's ultimately what he was there for. It's like,
And that's what he can stay as.
yeah, just
The
recurring
humor.
character. He doesn't deserve his own series anymore. Just throw him in the other, like, as a character in the other things. It's like, oh, here's an episode that we get to see him in. Okay. Like, you don't have to eliminate him, but I don't want to watch an entire series on him again. But I believe Shanina has additional MCU or Marvel news for us.
Indeed. We got a full Multiverse of Madness trailer.
Hey.
It was wild.
Hey.
So many things. I haven't torn it apart, but I know other people have, and there's just
I haven't torn
references
this one apart
upon
yet,
references. It
So
will
many.
indeed be multiversal.
All the multiversalness. All of it.
Very excited.
I love Doctor Strange so much.
I like Wanda.
Yes, that
Like
too.
both of them.
It's like all the best parts of the MCU right now are converging on this movie,
One thing.
and I love it. And I really want to see them interact with each other, like I just see that having so many wonderful implications of them interacting together. Granted, Wanda is definitely more powerful, but
For sure.
Given the entire WandaVision TV
Strange
series.
is not going to admit that.
No. He's got too much pride for that.
Or even if he was, he's like, yeah, but you don't know what you're doing with it.
Burn.
You took an entire town hostage. What are you? Good stuff. Oh man.
And like I was excited. It looks like there's some like spookiness too. I'm excited
Which is what
to
they
get
kind
some
of expected.
spooky MCU.
It's supposed to be like thrilling, spooky. Yeah.
So excited
Because I
for it
think
to come out.
it's supposed to be rated R, right?
Is it?
Is this one? I don't know.
I think this one, but not for like, vulgar reasons. It's all just because it's,
Like
if I remember right, but I could be wrong.
horror-y
Quote me on this.
things.
Yeah, because it's like a horror. But I might be wrong on that. I could be very wrong. But we knew it was going to be like horror-esque. Like it's going to have some mind-bending, melting things in it. It's also possible just was a rumor I read. So
From what I can tell, it's rumor. They might have two versions. One is R and one is PG-13.
oh, I'm going to the R one. It's the advantage of being old enough. I want this one to give me nightmares, not gonna lie. Because this is like the best kind of mind twisting nightmares where you're just like
So it's
kind of experiencing.
unclear.
That's fine.
As of right now. Who knows?
All right. And as the MCU continues into these upcoming phases, according to thedirect.com, we will be seeing 7 different branches of the MCU, which will be the MCU Cosmic with Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, all those spacey people. MCU Avengers with our new Captain America, Winter Soldier, all them people. MCU Young Avengers with, oh, what is her name? Miss Marvel, Ironheart. MCU Multiverse, obviously.
That's what we're seeing.
MCU Supernatural. We got Moon Knight and
Which I'm also excited for. That trailer for Moon Knight was also really good.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Super excited.
MCU Street with
Please repeat
Hawkeye, Yelena, those cool people.
This is just MCU,
Spider-Man.
no actual powers.
Yeah.
Basically.
MCU, awesome humans.
MCU, we excel at basic human sports.
Yeah. And Spider-Man.
Like how Spider-Man gets his own.
No.
Yeah. He is his own branch.
He is his own branch. Which, yeah, they kind of deterred, like, yeah. Okay. And then Undefined, possibly. Things
Yeah,
that we just don't know where they belong yet, actually. Maybe.
Yeah. So is there a branch that you are most looking forward to?
I mean, I'm just looking at this now for the first time ever / hearing about it. But it makes sense in some ways what they're doing. I mean, I'm looking forward to Moon Knight and the things that they could do with that route of like the supernatural-esque, because kind of see it already with Wanda, Scarlet Witch, and it's super cool. I guess that could also fall under multiverse, but
There is something I'm excited for in pretty much all of these, but
yeah,
Young
Yeah.
Avengers, I think it might be the one I'm most looking forward to, because it kind of just brings us into a break from, like, it's all new is the biggest thing. Um, all the other ones kind of have these connecting pieces that that are recurring, but Young Avengers just has like the excitement of like the torch being passed to certain characters and things like that, things that we've been talking about for 12 years or whatever, like Ironheart. I'm hyped for that one. The only thing I'm excited for about Cosmic is probably Lady Thor. The return of Natalie. Thor series has been great, but I don't know. Like I like Guardians of the Galaxy has been good, but I'm not sure how excited I am about their characters anymore. More so, just like the overall story in those and the soundtracks have been so good that those have kind of kept me going. But I'm not sure how. Yeah, the characters themselves don't attract me as much, I'd say. But and that's why I'm most excited for Young Avengers, because the characters are just going to be awesome. I hope. Do it right, Disney. Don't ruin this for me.
Do it right. Do it right or not at all.
What about you, Shanine?
I don't know. It's hard to pick one branch because I feel like in every branch there's something I'm like super duper excited for and something I like don't super care for. I don't know. Probably Multiverse is high up on my list though, for sure. I just love Wanda so much.
And like obviously these are all still interconnected. It is still the MCU.
Yeah.
It's just like these general overarching themes and how the characters are connected. It's like we're putting the most connected characters in these individual branches for the most part, which I get.
I'm sure that makes production a whole lot easier for them, honestly.
Yeah. And I'm also just really into the Spider-Man story right now.
I have some gripes, but
I have zero gripes.
Chris, I feel like you're always going to have gripes about things.
I'm usually the one that's like, that's not really a controversial opinion. But my actual controversial opinion was that No Way Home was fine.
It gave me the one thing I wanted. And it was just like the best.
My gripe with it is it tried to do too much. That's really it.
It didn't do as much as it could have.
So well.
Yeah, but they
hardcore missed an opportunity to recreate the meme, which I was really disappointed in, with all the Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
I mean, have you not seen the picture of them together comparing it to the meme in the lab?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, Shanine.
I mean, if they had done exactly that, there would have been people complaining about that too.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Can't make everyone happy.
they did too much to Peter is my problem with it, really. Like that's like what it comes down to is too much happened that I'm just like, okay. I I'm not looking forward to certain implications of this. Yeah, it's just like, man, it feels like same thing, like, because same problem I have with Grey's Anatomy. It's like, I get this is like things happen, but it's like I don't care how optimistic you are. There is a breaking point, and this movie kind of just threw everything at him, and is like, you know what? I don't care how idealistic you are about Peter and Spider-Man. It was too much.
Fair.
There's too many mental health implications in that movie that can't properly be dealt with because of what they did to him. That's what I mean. Okay, but that's it. That's it. That's my controversial take. You can take it or leave it. I understand. I enjoyed it. It's a good movie. I'm, and we won't know until we get more. But that's my problem. Okay. But yeah. So Branches, is that everything? Got lots of Marvel news, kind of cool things happening. Um, we'll start from my news. So the Switch is getting a new streaming app, and it's
Woo!
Crunchyroll.
Woo!
I'm a little confused, because we don't know what's happening with Crunchyroll right now. Obviously, we know Crunchyroll is bought by Sony, who owns Funimation. Funimation pretty much has access to the entire Crunchyroll library at this point. Um, but I am very happy that the Switch is getting a anime app. Um, second streaming, so we got Hulu and we got Crunchyroll.
What an odd combination of
We have nothing else.
things.
We don't have Netflix. We don't have anything else. We just got Hulu and Crunchyroll.
You're allowed 2 streaming apps on your console. Which 2 are you gonna pick?
I will
Hulu
say,
and Crunchyroll.
well, part of it is that people just like other companies haven't developed for the Switch.
Yeah.
And these like Hulu
It's
is just the
just
first one to
funny.
do it. Yeah, it is funny. Crunchyroll makes more sense than Hulu, considering
Yeah.
the
The
demographics
audience.
of Nintendo players.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of weebs, okay? That's all I'm saying. Is like the number of people that own a Switch and consistently play it and like are big fans of those titles are really into Ranking of Kings right now.
Yep.
They're all me, okay? So I'm really excited for this.
Every single person ever who owns a Switch is just a clone of Chris Nicolai.
Just a clone, though. They're not as good as the original. No. So Crunchyroll makes a lot of sense. I just don't know what's happening with it. Also, I forgot what I was going to say now regarding that. Also, nice thing about Crunchyroll is you can do the premium, but there's lots of free content on Crunchyroll, which is nice. And it's also one of the cheaper streaming services, especially if you pay for the year, because it's like $50 for 12 months. Can't beat that. But it's also mostly dubbed. Or subbed. Mostly subbed. I'm not sure how much dub they do. They have some, I'm sure. I haven't been on Crunchyroll in a while because everything else has been everywhere else. But my most exciting news are all the Lord of the Rings things. We got the Rings of Power trailer.
Scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
A 7. I can't like there's a part of me that wants it to be a 10, but there's also a part of me, this is Amazon, and I'm still super skeptical, and I'm like, okay,
Yep.
but we'll see. This is why I haven't analyzed anything else, because I've been like going through this trailer. Like all last weekend, I was rewatching this trailer or whatever. once we got it, I'm like, okay, what could this be? What could this be? And then like obviously the actual like the big names in Lord of the Rings nerdology did a full breakdown, kinda, because it's all speculation, but we got lots of looks at Galadriel, who looks awesome. So excited for the series to see her story. At one point, we see her kind of scaling a giant ice crevice, and people are speculating that that's the Horcruxa, but that wouldn't make sense because there's light, it's daytime, and there wasn't light at the time. But super cool things. Lots of some fan hate from it because of the diversity in the casting, which is very unfortunate because, I don't know, if you dive deep into lore, you'd understand that Tolkien's intention was ultimately that all the different tribes and stuff, and like that this is ultimately a very diverse world. Granted, the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit take place in a small portion of the overall world. We get an amazing look at a Numenorian city. So I still have no idea what the actual like time frame this takes place in, because it feels like it's just spanning a very big breadth of time, and it's gonna bounce, maybe. We saw awesome dwarfs, which I wish even the female ones were bearded. Not gonna lie. Even if in his later writings it's determined that it's just male dwarves, maybe, I don't know. But at one point, Tolkien believed that both male and female dwarves were bearded, and I'm very pro that idea. Because I just think it adds a very interesting relationship amongst the dwarves about whether or not they could tell themselves apart, and I think that would just be
Like
very humorous.
like penguins.
Yes, actually, yes. It's like, yeah. I mean, it's not like they're actually attracted to the opposite sex. They all look. They can't tell each other apart.
Yeah.
And the implications of that would be just wonderful. But there's some really cool things. So one thing that's really cool about this trailer is we see kind of this. So the kind of opening, I can't remember where it is in the trailer, but the molten metal filling in the title.
Real.
That's not CG. That's all real.
I saw that behind the scenes video. It's so
Right?
cool.
Like, and so like little things like that are making me really excited for it, because like they're taking details the most, like if they're taking that much, paying that much attention to a detail just for the title screen, I'm hopeful that they're paying very close attention to the details of the lore. Yeah. Obviously, this is still going to be an adaptation, but oh my goodness. Did you guys, so how many times have you watched this trailer, for one?
Like once.
Yeah, like once or twice.
What was your favorite part then that you saw? I can't wait for
It's been a
Galadriel
while.
cosplays, because
I
that
know.
armor is killer.
I feel like just all the scenery and stuff got me excited, because that for sure felt like Lord of the Ringsy.
Yes. They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Like from the initial spoiler spoiler just screenshots that we saw, and now we act like it's spanning movements across the cities and the landscapes. And that's like so much of Tolkien's vision is just, it's always an adventure. It's like the towns and cities are important, but what happens in between them really, and like what you see and experience in between them is vastly more important. It feels like. Um, how do you guys feel about short-haired Elrond?
I have no
Okay.
major opinion one way or the other. Know,
It's fine.
it'll be okay.
He's,
just excited
he's
for the,
younger here. He was allowed to have an
monsters.
experimental phase.
Yes. Everyone's allowed an experimental phase.
Well, we have like several images of like shorter haired elves, which is a very interesting take. Like really definitely breaks away from Peter Jackson's
Yeah.
portrayals. Because yeah, we get, it's not just Elrond with short hair. We have several elves with shorter hair, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm ready for Galadriel cosplays because I'm seriously obsessed. What I really want is what's her name on YouTube to analyze that armor,
Yes.
because I think this is a
It was-
very
yeah.
realistic, reasonable armor.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Um,
I'd love to see it.
but yeah, we also got news on the anime feature-length movie, The War of the Rohirrim, which is slated for April of 2024. Not soon enough, but I get it. Animation takes forever, so actually take your time, because I'll be really annoyed if it's just mostly CG animation. But we did get some. It is following one of the battles following Helm Hammerhead with the Rohirrim, and I'm excited for these people. I love the horse people. Their original portrayal in Peter Jackson's adaptation might be one of my few things that I wish they would have done differently. I think in general they did a good part, but I feel like they made them too much like the Gondorians in a sense. Whereas like
that.
their culture is very unique in his lore and very kind of separated from that, and they're kind of isolated too from other cultures, like in the Two Towers. Like one of my favorite pieces in the book with Theoden is him seeing the hobbits smoking and being super confused by it. They spew smoke like dragons. It's just such a great part in the books that we didn't get to see, but in the movies. But still excited for this because anime and Lord of the Rings.
Best.
Once again, this was made for me. Well, only thing that would
It's a
make it
great
better
combo.
is a December 17th release date.
Yes.
But yeah, that's my news. And our top 3 list. So our top 3 this week is our non-electronic hobbies, brought to us by Avoided Ice, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds right. It's been so long. It's hard to keep track.
Has been a while.
And I don't have one for next week because I forgot we do these. I'm a bad
So did
host. But top 3 non-electronic hobbies. I feel like Emma's been starting us off this episode, so take it away.
I will. Number 1, I'm I'm sure there's going to be a little bit crossover here, but puzzles. I quite like my puzzles. It's a good way to do something while watching something. It's a good way to unwind. And there's a lot of fun puzzle art out there. So I like to do puzzles.
You guys are just picking all the things I disagree with. No.
Disagree with puzzles?
No, not necessarily. Just not my thing, okay? They're just not my thing.
What are your top 3 things Chris disagrees with?
That's a good top 3. I guess it's the top 3 things you think I disagree with, but you just don't know the whole story. So puzzles.
Puzzles.
Janine.
Yay, puzzles. Go, Shanine.
All right. My first one's got to be reading. It was my first hobby and will just always be one of my favorites. Books are great.
It's true. It's definitely one I need to do more of. And I have been doing more of, but not as much as I'd like to. At times.
Yeah, I've been trying to get more actively into it recently.
So time consuming.
It's worth it.
I should say active. It's so active too. Like it's you have to commit to it. That's might be my hardest thing. It's like I can't just sit and read for like 15 minutes and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, reading's good. For me, let's do my first one as technically it's well, I mean, we determined that this was okay when she proposed it. Is photography. Although I can claim I do have a film camera. I just don't have any film currently because film's expensive, and I would like to do more film, but
Film is a cool art style.
well, that's why I bought this camera specifically, too. That's why I got my Fujifilm X-T4 because the film simulations are perfect.
Yeah.
Something I wish I definitely like committed more time to and practiced more. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna do photography for my first one. Emma, number 2. New what else?
Knitting. I'm not very good at it, and I can only do scarves, but I like to knit.
What else? Other things are there to knit?
Sweaters, socks, hats, mittens.
Well, the hats are easy now. You just buy that fancy thing now. You just put a drill in. It goes knits it for you.
You can do different styles of hats that those don't allow you to do. But yes,
It's fine. I'm just saying, like, if you really want to make hats, boom.
not really.
And you could crank them out, like literally crank them out.
Just sit there and
Yeah, don't even put the drill in it. Just actually do it by hand.
Yeah.
Use the hand crank on it.
Yeah, that's very peaceful, kind of like puzzles. Enjoyable thing to do while watching stuff.
Okay. I think that's the best thing about knitting is that it's a thing you multitask with.
Yeah. It is. It's definitely a thing you multitask with.
And that's what makes it so great is that you're usually doing at least 2 things.
Yes.
So I'm very pro knitting.
That's why I like
or
it.
crocheting or whichever,
I started learning crochet this winter.
Contemplated looking into it, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
My grandma taught me to crochet. I don't remember any of it, but
That's okay.
I did learn. I used to make doilies for with her long time ago.
I love that.
Random facts. And pottery. I guess not really pottery. She's more of a mold, so just ceramics. But yeah, okay. Number 2, Shanine, sorry.
Number 2, um, watercolor painting. I'm not very good at it, but it's fun. I enjoy playing around, and it's fun making cards for people and stuff like that.
Watercolor, like, from like, think about how you learned watercolor, like in like grade school and stuff. And like watching people who are actually good at watercolor is just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I'm definitely
not
not
watercolor.
At that
That's normal painting.
Yeah.
I did do a baby card for my friends who just had a baby that had Grogu on it. So I was pretty proud of that one.
Grogu. Always gonna be a hit. So what do you do? Throw Grogu on it. Well, it'll sell. It'll sell.
Yoda always sells.
So you could take the worst Grogu rendering ever, and you know, if it's something you did, you can just bump up that price for like at least 5 times what you thought it would be worth and sell it. It's like, I think this is worth $1. It's definitely worth at least 5. Oh, you thought that was $100 painting? It's 500. It's Grogu. Always worth more than you think. My second, I'm still new at, and it's something that I still haven't committed enough time to. But woodworking has been a thing. You don't see a lot of projects because I'm that bad. And
Still
wood's
to have, though.
expensive right now. Like, I just looked, and like I was gonna do another project this last weekend, and it would have been done. It's supposed to go right over here. Wait, no one can see that right now. I'm gonna do another shelf or bookshelf that's gonna make, and the plywood costs $80 when it was $30 last year. I'm like, it's
Because everyone's
gross.
doing home renovations.
No one's using. Actually, no. It's very common in cabinets. Baltic birch, man, it's the best plywood. But yeah, woodworking, something I definitely want to do more of, and I have so many plans that I've drawn up for like a bed. That was one that I was gonna do, but bookshelves. I need bookshelves. Thanks to Shanine, I need bookshelves.
They are a necessity.
Keep buying books. You know, I need at least, like, in all my Lord of the Rings books takes at least one shelf. And that's just Lord of the Rings. That's not even like The Hobbit or anything else. That's just
How many copies of Lord of the Rings do you have?
6. 6 copies. Yeah, I want to say 6. Just bordering my Bible collection. Like, that's number of like redundant copies. Bibles, Lord of the Rings. That's all good. Which brings us to round 3.
Round 3. Swimming. I like to swim. It's a thing that I like to do, and I enjoy it very much. And I wish I could do it more. There's not much more to that.
I mean, you could do it all year now.
I can, technically, yes. I was that one child whose parents had a very difficult time getting out of the pool. I would literally just hang out in the pool until my teeth were chattering. And even then, my parents would have to haul me out. So that hasn't changed much.
I think I'd enjoy it more if I wasn't so awkwardly, unequally weighted. Like half of me is buoyant, the other half's not. I don't understand
Just like
it. Yeah, like I can't make my legs float. Like,
yeah.
I'm always at least at like a 45-degree angle in the water. Like people are like floating like dead man. And I'm like, I can't do that. Like I will just float at 45 degrees.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I didn't know we were picking athletic things. Not that I have any, but Janine, number 3.
I couldn't think of much else.
Number 3 will not be athletic. Tabletop role-playing games. I love them.
She loves them so much, she even plays the single-player ones, which is awesome.
Yes, I was gonna say, even the solo RPGs. I played one last night. I finished up writing one of my horror journaling ones.
Ooh.
And I didn't get the bad outcome this time.
Yay.
I feel like that means you did it wrong then.
No, I just well, you have 2 stats. And so I just really pumped up the stat that is the one that determines at the end if you get the bad one or the good one. There's still a lot of chances to have lost those things throughout, but
Is that like
I guess that was just rolling good.
It's the Bofuri method. I didn't want to get hurt, so I put all my stats in defense. It's also an anime. Pretty fun. It's a fun video game, in another world video game anime. And I recommend that too. It is a lot of fun, but it's crazy. Number 3 for me, since sure, we'll do tavern sports.
What are tavern sports?
The things I am absurdly randomly good at. Bowling and pool.
Okay.
And occasionally I can pull out some darts. I don't know why, but I'm actually really not good at darts, but amongst my friends, I'm decent. But yeah, bowling and pool, I do enjoy them. Pool probably more so because it's more accessible. I'm a lot better at bowling though than pool. But yeah, we'll see. I'm being talked into starting bowling again, so that's this fall. Just to throw this out there, my high game's at 297. It's a very painful score, actually.
I mean, it's good in comparison to most people.
Yeah, but do you know what it's like to bowl 11 strikes and a 7? Which is, so you get your 3 points from a perfect game.
No.
It sucks. It's very disheartening.
It's a successful day for me when I don't end up in the gutters. Okay.
That's
right?
Fine. That's what handicap
Yeah,
is.
no.
You know what's a painful score?
That is what
is
handicap
not getting
is for.
any of them down.
Yeah.
That's what handicap's for. That's all I'm saying. You know, you join a handicap league, you get the difference between your average and like 200 as pins added to your score. There's other formulas too, but that's a common one. So like, let's say you average 20 pins a game. You get 180 pins added to your score so you can compete with people like me. But yeah, and then you improve. You gradually get better. It's great. I love it. It's also just a good time, you know? Most of the teams are there just there to drink and throw a ball down the lane. It's good, but it just sucked. It's so close. I didn't think it was possible for me, but it apparently is. And now I'm like, okay. So those are our top 3. Turn in next week for our top 3. Shanine, come up with something real quick. To be determined.
I got nothing.
Um, and we'll just mention them again. Be sure to check out our socials. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as One Geek 411. Be sure to join our Discord because it gets lively between everyone else but me. I'm very inactive usually. Sorry, guys.
Okay, Chris.
I get overwhelmed, okay? You can email us directly at 1stgeek411@gmail.com. Be sure to check out our merch on our Redbubble store. And as always, we are live on Twitch Mondays at 6:45 Mountain Time. You can find our video on our YouTube, or you can check us out later on our YouTube. Be sure to rate and subscribe wherever you listen or watch us. And check out our notes on our website, onegeek411.com. Oh, and I guess, anyone streaming this week?
Yes. I'll be streaming some Spiritfarer tomorrow.
I will be streaming most likely Forbidden West on Thursday because I do not want to be playing anything else right now.
Wherever she is in the game, just
wherever I am, you're just gonna pick up with me
just
wherever I am in the game.
Random bits of story, or
you're gonna get no context information of me just going and freaking out over the smallest, coolest thing I find.
You're gonna get 3 hours of photo mode.
Yeah. I just might.
I am gonna try to find some time to stream. I'm still trying to find a time that technically works for me, in my schedule, but that's to be determined. And yeah, and then always, also be sure to check out our personal social medias. I mostly share random giveaways because that's what I use Twitter for. I'm not so foreign.
I am not prepared with an eye on all platforms. I use them all for different things.
I'm the Hoot and Howl on Twitter and Hoot and Howl Tales, TALES on Instagram.
Janine's a writer. She's the important one to follow. She actually shares important stuff. Just saying.
Some days.
It's true.
Eat some fish.
Ride a bike.
Read a book.
It's been a great week, everyone.